My grandparents spent half of every year at their lake house. It was basically on top of an Appalachian mountain, and every summer for a couple weeks my family would come and visit them there, much to my grandfather's chagrin, but it was actually my grandmother's family who had bought the property over 100 years ago, and that side of the family actually liked my younger siblings and I. But regardless, every year immediately upon arrival, my father would caution my younger siblings and I to give our grandfather as wide of a berth as we possibly could, which wasn't too difficult because we were literally in a vast mountain forest. So directly across the lake, about a mile across, there was this area with these really large flat boulders, and my little sister and I would spend most of our time over there sunbathing on these boulders trying to hide from our grandfather. So the summer I'm like 15 or 16, my little brothers keep getting in trouble for shenanigans performed in a boat in the middle of the lake, and it turns out the reason they kept getting caught was because my grandfather, an avid bird watcher, was also spying on them with his binoculars. So one day my little sister and I are getting ready to go across the lake to our place when my mother stops us and she's like, girls, you guys need to make sure you're behaving because your grandfather's probably watching you. So we get across the lake and I spread my beach towel out onto a boulder and I turn in the direction from whence we came, and I just sit there with my middle fingers up for like an hour. Now, my little sister was like 13 at the time. She didn't really have any personal issues with our grandfather because she didn't care if people liked her or not. Like, she was born so professionally unbothered that I think our grandfather actually feared her rather than the other way around. But either way, she was never one to miss an opportunity to employ an offensive gesture. So she sat down next to me and just started flipping off the direction of our family home with me. So we got back home later that day, and I never actually surprisingly got any verbal confirmation of whether or not my grandfather had seen us or not, but something told me he did because suddenly his espionage reports stopped immediately. So the following summer, my best friend came to the lake with us, and the first time my sister and I took her to our favorite place across the lake, we were like, listen, like, when we get there, you have to flip off our grandfather with us. And bless her heart, she was like, say less.